First of all, morning to all of you, and welcome to CIMA Hospital and the area of the clinic. I didn't expect this much public today, but it's good. That's a good problem to solve. My name is Gustavo Lee. I'm the admin manager for CIMA Hospital, and I have my international insurance manager here who's going to be answering some questions in regards to insurance. I'm going to be very brief. I've been here since July 1st, last year. I used to work for the Gorgas Army Hospital in Panama, so I'm not Tico, I'm Panamanian. In the CIMA Hospital right now, we're operational in pharmacy, laboratory, emergency, and we're doing ambulatory surgeries right now. Right now we're working also in what's the permits with the Minister of Health for our radiology department, and we expect to have that finalized in the next couple of weeks. So that's where we are right now. I don't know if you have any questions at this time in regards to the presentation. That depends on a variable that it's getting hard for us to complete, and that's the human resources side. And we have had some difficulties on filling up some vacancies. For example, lab techs. It's not easy to get a lab tech in this area, and we have done all our homework and we have explored all the possibilities for us to do that. So that's one variable that is affecting that. If we have a critical patient that we cannot treat in the facility, we'll have to evacuate that patient over to Liberia or over to San Jose, on whichever hospital the patient likes to. That's what we need. That's what we'll do.
Do you have ambulance service here, or do you call someone?
We have availability for ambulance services, and we can call not one but 2 or 3 providers that could give us a service to transport a patient over from CIMA over to Liberia or over to San Jose. We have 3 providers, and let's say 10 days ago we had a patient that needed to be transferred, and the first option that we had was in Ocotal, 40 minutes away, and the patient needed to be transported ASAP. So we called our second provider, who is in Playas del Coco and was 15 minutes away. And
is that medical assistance?
Yes. We try to work with all the providers available, because we don't know at what time one of them is going to be real busy and we're not going to be having the availability that we want, or depending on the critical condition. Every single service you open in a hospital here in Costa Rica, you have to go through permits. There is a very particular issue for every single service. Let's say for pharmacy. Pharmacy, there is a Colegio de Farmacéutas, and you have to go through them first. With the lab, you also have Colegio de Microbiólogos, so you have to go through them first and their checklist. And once you do that, you go through the Minister of Health. Well, for X-ray, it's different for some reason. And you have, and all of that you do not here. You do it in San Jose for the Colegio permits. And once they give you all the paperwork, you go to the Minister of Health here in Philadelphia. So, what happens for X-ray? You have to go through the same hassle, because every single piece of equipment, it's a different permit. So you have to go to San Jose and send all that paperwork over to San Jose so they can check all that paperwork. And once they finish checking all that paperwork, it comes back over to me, and I have to bring that paper over to Minister of Health over in Philadelphia. And once I get that there, they'll give me what they call permiso de funcionamiento.
If the paperwork's not lost.
6-bed
That's for inpatient care?
inpatient ward, yes, 24 hours. Be able, once you have your inpatient ward operational, then you can increase the complexity of surgeries. Right now, it's just ambulatory that needs observation for 4 or 5 hours. That's what we have. Operational 100%, we're foreseeing higher complexity on what's surgeries. And have our inpatient ward capabilities to have 2, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever the recovery entails.
Okay. And if you're looking at it from, let's say, like a triage point of view, the intention is to treat all risk, low to high risk patients, or are you within a sector like medium to low, high risk will go someplace else?
Medium to low, because when you go through the hospital today, you're going to notice we don't have an ICU. And that's because we don't foresee on the short run seeing neurosurgery, for example. So that's one thing that will be done over in San Jose. That's what we entail right now. The helicopter is stationed over in San Jose. And to medevac someone out of here, it'll take approximately an hour and a half to 2 hours.
An hour and a half to 2 hours?
Yes, it'll take 50 minutes to come and 50 minutes to go back to San Jose.
Okay, we work with most of American insurance that has international benefits. That's a very important thing to know when you purchase an insurance, or if you already have one. That's a question you can do to them, you can make to the insurance company. With veterans insurance, we work basically with the Foreign Medical Program, that's a program that handles the service-connected claims for the VA, and CIMA. That's basically what we work with. TRICARE is not an option right now because we had some rates problems in the past, and they were not paying our rates because they were using some rate list from Puerto Rico or something like that. But we're working and trying to arrange that with them and make it like a contract or something that help us to give services to TRICARE members too. There's a deductible that she has to pay per year, and there's a copay of 25%, but they have a maximum out of pocket. So once everything is met, you can use it 100% as well.
Okay, for my service-connected disabilities, which the VA will compensate, I can obtain those services here?
Yes.
And you will process the paperwork?
Yes, sir.
In English?
Yes. In English with codes, everything is going to be everything is going to be translated for them and coded.
Would you submit it to the VA, or would that be something I would have to submit?
No, we do it.
Okay, good.
Once we have you have to be enrolled with the Foreign Medical Program. That's the first step you have to do, because if you are retired and service connected, that's not enough. You have to be enrolled with the Foreign Medical Program. And once you have that, they're going to send you a benefits authorization letter. That's something that we're going to need to file the claim. So once we have the benefit authorization letter, you can come to the hospital anytime you want without authorization to get services for those covered disabilities. Yeah, there was an option like 2 years ago. We were working with the embassy. But that's a very hard thing, especially now when the benefits are changing and the health system in the U.S. is changing in some areas. So we're still trying through the embassy to do that. But that's something that is not going to be soon. Yeah, it's going to take, I think, a couple of years. Yeah. us to bill them directly. They require the patient to pay and file for reimbursement because basically in their words, they prefer the patient to be there and go to a VA hospital to receive services than paying claims out of the country. So only for service connected. If you are just retired, you can use the facility services and then you have to pay and file for reimbursement. We can help you with the claim forms and everything you're going to need for that, but you have to pay up front. If you're a resident in Costa Rica, it's going to be easier for you to get an insurance. We have like 7 or 8 insurance companies right now in Costa Rica that you can purchase insurance, private insurance.
Do you have any information on those private companies within Costa Rica other than the INS?
Yeah, I can send you the information. That's what the list is for. I can send you a brochure with the companies we work with more often. So some of them are here in Costa Rica and some of them are outside of the country. So you can get information through their websites and everything too.
Okay.
Purchase. Actually, it depends on you. If you want to get an insurance that covers your pre-existing condition, you have to pay a little bit more, but they're going to be covered. If you don't want to, you pay just the regular premium, and then it's going to be excluded. They have one office to handle international claims. It doesn't matter if it's Stryker Prime or Stryker Standard, Stryker anything. They just have one office to do that. And they apply the rates according to the provider and when the claim is coming from. So the patient can pay and file for reimbursement, and I'm sure they will pay you according to the benefits, because I know there's a copay and deductible they're going to take from the reimbursement. Basically, if you're service connected for diabetes, we're going to give you all the medications and treatments that are going to be related to that. It's diabetes and aggravating conditions. So if you have any complication related to diabetes, it's going to be covered too. We will file the claim and you don't have to pay anything. You just have to sign the bill. Okay. But you have to send me the benefits authorization letter first, because you have to be in our system. So when you get there, they can look at you there and they can find you and find your benefits that are at home.
Our plans is to have an ambulance right on the hospital. Paramedic and one of my doctors will go. We know that. And if we need to evacuate, one of our doctors will go with you. Always. Always. To have our checkups up and running, we need some specialty doctors on the medical towers, because our checkups include not only lab tests and x-rays, but they also include dentists, ophthalmology, cardiologists. And yes, we're going to be having it. It's not functional right now because we need to be operational 24 hours to create some confidence on the doctors to fill this medical tower. And once we have the medical towers with the dentists, with the ophthalmologists, with the cardiologists, we're going to go ahead and design all our checkups. Right now we're going to be 6 rooms, 6 patient rooms. The plan is to grow up to 18 rooms. That's the first phase, growing phase. After that, we're going to be creating our second surgery room. So it's a very large surgery room, and what we plan to do is have not only one additional, but 2. It's basically that at the point where the hospital stands right now, that is working from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., it's not really functional for them to have an office here. So they're just waiting on us to be fully functional, to, if they need to see a patient at 11 p.m. at night, they can come in, and if they need medication or they need an x-ray, they can come in and support that service. That's basically what they're waiting on. And we're pushing towards that. We're pushing towards that. And we're talking with the medical staff around Guanacaste and just letting them know that we're going to be getting there very soon. There's a couple of doctors, I'm not going to say you 10 or 20, but there are a couple of doctors in San Jose that are interested to have offices here, because they want to expand their operation from San Jose over to Guanacaste, and they know the potential that we have right now. If you want the ambulance numbers, I have all those numbers, and I can give that to you. You can call them. And
would we call this ambulance, or would we call the one in Cocoa, or would we?
Depending on where you are and the availability, you know, I've had emergencies here where I call my #1 provider, and he's 50 minutes away from me. I had an emergency 10 days ago of a lady that broke her leg over in Hermosa Heights. And I called my first provider, and he was 50 minutes away.
So what number did you call?
No, I called the second provider, and he's in El Coco, and he got there in 25, 30 minutes. If someone has an emergency and they call me, I'll go ahead and do the work for them. But if you have the phone number and call directly to them, you can call them also. Yeah. Liberia, if that's what the patient wants, and it also depends on the critical condition of the patient. If it's something that needs to be taken care of immediately, I'm not going to wait for that patient to go over to San Jose on a flight for 50 minutes.
No, but I'm just saying Liberia is possible.
Yes, Liberia would be our first option if it's fair. It's a 4-story building, has 12 beds, 2 junior suites, and 10 regular rooms. It has
Does it have intensive care?
not open still, but it's going to have intensive care units. I don't know how many. That's the only information I don't know. It has a lab, it has a pharmacy, radiology. It's not 24 hours. The radiology works from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays up until the afternoon. They're working on their inpatient ward to be 24 hours. San Rafael, it's a private hospital also. And I'm talking about my competitor, that's good.
Where would you go if you had an emergency? Where would you go? If you were here and had an emergency,
I'll have to go to Liberia.
where?
Whoever can take care of me. That's what I would do. Well, I will go over
What would be
to
your choice? In
my first choice, private hospital. If you tell me if I had CIMA operational 24 hours, I'll be straight through the door of CIMA. I cannot forecast the 24 hours because there are some, as I told you, human resources variables that we need to address, and we're addressing. But there are some difficulties, and I know San Rafael also has the same difficulties, even though they started as a clinic and they increased their service level over to us as a hospital. They had some human resources backup. We started from zero.
Will you at some point have MRI capabilities, ultrasound capabilities?
MRI, no. We go from CT, ultrasound, X-ray, mammography. I will open a hospital anywhere worldwide after I do this. And yes, in 2014, I'm expecting to go through JCI. 2014, I said? Yeah. I'm expecting to go through JCI inspection. Reaccreditation over in San Jose and first time here in Guanacaste. That's my goal at the end.
Following the presentation by Gustavo Lee and Rocio Montes, the group proceeded through the hospital's main entrance, where we were given a complete tour of the new facility. The tour began in the laboratory, where we were shown all the latest state-of-the-art tools that lab techs would be able to use that would allow doctors to render fast and accurate diagnoses. From the lab, we moved into radiology. Aside from providing general X-ray imaging, this unit also includes ultrasound testing as well as modern CT scanning. Perhaps the most interesting section was the emergency department, where the hospital will soon be able to treat most injuries and sicknesses, from minor cuts and scrapes all the way up to life-threatening problems.
Emergency room. We have 3 open cubicles, 2 closed. One of them is for isolation and the other one is for OBG exploration.
And when medical issues exceed the capability of this facility, a fully functional air ambulance protocol will be able to whisk the stabilized patient off to CIMA Hospital in Escazú for more advanced treatment. All in all, CIMA Guanacaste will be able to deliver top-notch private medical care to the residents and visitors of our region. Please take note, there will be a list of important email addresses and websites at the end of this video. Thanks for watching. This has been Andy Brown from Boomers Offshore.